Hello, ma'am and sir. Once again, good morning. This time around, I will be demonstrating how to do the e-IPCRF and also the e-IPCRF development plan. So let's start. So the first thing that I will do again is to go to the link. So I already saved the link to my messenger. So I will go to my messenger. So as you can see, I have here the access. I have already here the access to the Google Drive. Then again, I will go to the other associated tools. Now, in the other associated tools, you have here the two folders, the ESAT and the e-IPCRF. So we're done already with the ESAT. So I'll now go proceed to the e-IPCRF. Okay, so as you can see, you have here two files. You have here the PDF and you have already here the Excel file. So for the PDF, this will be your guide. You have here the steps by steps procedure on how to answer the IPCR. So I will download only the exact file. So you can see here the three dots above. Click that one and see the word download. Okay, so I will minimize this one. So I'll go now to my download folder. Okay, so I have here the download folder. So this time I will place this one to my desktop so I could have an easy access for this from time to time. So I will cut that one, minimize, then I will put it here on my desktop. Wait. Okay, so DepEd prescribed IPCRE parts. In here, we have 4 parts. Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, this is the part 1, the IPCR review form. The part 2, the competencies. The part 3, the IPCRF summary sheets. And the part 4 is your development plan. Okay? So going back to the first or to the encoding part. Now, this is again the file again is in the MS Excel. If you are using version 10 and the newer and the latest version, you can access this one. But if you are having MS Excel lower or the old version, then you need to update your MS Office. Now, click Enable Editing as usually what we do. Next, Enable Content. Okay. Now, you have also here the privacy notice. By using this tool, you agree to authorize the DepEd to collect, process, retain, and dispose of your personal information in accordance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Instructions. Now, always do reading the instructions. So, from time to time, we must be observant with or we must be careful with the instructions. Part 1 shall be accomplished by the rater. For the sake of this demonstration video, so I will act as a rater because we cannot proceed to the other parts if we cannot do this part 1. So again, the same with what we do with the ESAT, we're going to start first filling in on the right side, not on the name of the employee. So region, of course, we belong to Caraga region. So you can see here also the drop down options. Division, Butuan City Division. Municipality. So you need to type Butuan City. School ID, our school ID is 13-20-23. Then school name. School name, we need to spell it out. So Butuan Central Elementary School. Okay, school type. Okay, you have here the drop down again options. Urban. Okay, mega school or very large school. Curricular classification, kinder to grade 6. Okay. Now, going back to the name of the employee, again, the name format, all capital letters, last name, first name, then the middle initial. Okay. Position, you have here the drop down again option, teacher 2, employee ID number, then employment status, regular, permanent. So the age is again 23 years old. So joke lang. So 25 to 30 years old. So sex now is male. Drop down options again. Okay, wait lang. Okay. So level taught, elementary. Grade level taught, grade 6. Again, if you are teaching grade 5 and grade 6, since if you are an implementing teacher like me, so you just select one grade level. Then subject taught is again only one all subjects if you want. Okay, so I will only click here mathematics. Rater. So the name of a rater here must be all capitalized, last name, first name, and the middle initial. So for my rater, the rater is in person of Ma'am Judith Ogalino. So Ogalino, Judith, C. Then position, head teacher 1. Head teacher 1. Okay. Date of review. So assuming that Ma'am Judith reviewed this tool last April 5, 2000. Okay. It must be year first. 2021. Then April. Okay. Next. Number of years in teaching. So 35 years. Bachelor's degree. Then BE Ed. Next. Area of specification. Okay, mathematics. Okay. Now this is now the important part of being a rater, to include the rating for the COT. So let's say COT 1 subject is mathematics. So again, rating must be a whole number from 3 to 7. I am using IPCRF form for teacher 1 to teacher 3. So let's say 7. Okay, 7. 7. Assuming lang. Okay. So, date observed, let's say February or March. So, March. Start with the year 2021. March, then 25. Okay. Then, after that one, lock COT1. So, the rater must enter a password, minimum of 6 characters. So, the rater is the rater can only be the one to know the password for this part. Okay, go. The next COT2. So next COT, the same subject area. MAPI. So let's proceed to MAPI. So 7, then 6, 7. Okay, that's just an example. Then date observed. Date observed, let's say 2021 April, then 15. Okay? Then lock again. Whatever the password on COT1, it must be the same password also to COT2. But then again, only the rater can know this password. Okay. Then go. Then next is the Q. So here, rating must be a whole number from 1 to 5. So let's say 5, 5, 5. This is just for a demonstration purpose. It's not really true based to the true based to the performance. Okay, 4, let's say 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay? So after that, you have already here that transmitted the objectival rating of outstanding. So again, this is only for the demonstration. So approving authority, it must be the name of the school head. So again, all capital letters, last name, first name, and the middle initial. So Peru, Luisito, G, PhD. Okay, next, position. In here on the name of the school head, it's okay not to include the PhD. Okay. So teacher, I mean principal 3. Okay? So once this is already done and being reviewed by the rater, so the rater now can finalize part 1. Again, only the rater can do this part. So again, the same password to be used once finalizing this part. Okay, go. Okay, so this is already successfully done because the color, as you can see, it changes to color red. Now, as you can see, uh, the teacher's information, actually the rater can assign this one to the teacher, but to the COT part, it's part 2. So I already have here, or clicking here, some of the competencies. This is the core behavioral competencies. Again, we need to be reflective and we need to be honest in this part. So finalize part 2. Now in finalizing part 2, the rater or the teacher need to enter a password. So the teacher again is the only one can know the password. Okay, confirm password. Okay, then go. Okay. Okay, the data has been saved. Okay, so click OK. Okay, next. You already have here the data. All the data that we inputted on the encoding sheet is automatically transmuted to this part. Okay, so this is the summary. So part 1, part 2. Okay, part 2. This is the part 2. Okay, part 3. This is the summary. And this is now the development plan. So again, the teacher part here is the part 2 and the part 4. This is now the development plan. Now, note these systems shall be accomplished during phase 1, the performance planning and commitment, based on the results of ESAT. And phase 2, this is the time that performance monitoring and coaching, that is based on the agreement of the performance monitoring and coaching form, or the PMCF form, the mid-year, or the MRF, the mid-year review form. Okay, and phase 4, the performance rewarding and development planning based on the actual results of e-IPCRF. Now, why is it development plan is very important? Because this is the basis in conducting training programs, conducting intervention programs, webinars. If there are teachers who have that the plan of conducting any training, this can be the basis. And also for the school administrators during the inset, for the inset. Okay, so as you can see here in the development the plans, you have here 2 areas or 2 competencies. We have the functional competencies and core behavioral competencies. Here, we have here the strengths, the development needs, the action plan. Action plan has 2 domain, the learning objectives and the intervention. We also have the timeline and the resources needed. Now, let's start with the strength. So, where did I get the strength? So by opening again your ESAT, the one that we did a while ago. So as you can see here, on the strengths, try to look at here the level of capability. So look at the level of capability and look at there the descriptive word which you think that's the highest that you got. Let's say the highest here is very high. Now, if you have very high, a lot of very high here, try to only get one, pick only one. But if you really want to have many plans for the next RPMS cycle, so you can write here as many as you can. But for me, I write only here 2 strengths. So the first one is under the KRE1, the content, knowledge, and pedagogy. So indicator 1.2. So that's ensure the positive use of ICT. So I write it here. Then another strength that I put it here is the KRE 5, which is the plus factor, the perform various related works or activities that contribute to the teaching learning process. So as you can see, I just write it here. Now, for the development needs, again, try to look at only for the level of capability. So if you can see descriptive word, let's say moderate or low or high, let's say you got high, that's the lowest descriptive response, or I mean result. So just get only one. Again, you are not required to make it many, but if you really want to have many plans for the next RPMS cycle, you can do so. But for me, I only write here one. So that's under KRE1. The content, knowledge, and pedagogy, specifically the indicator 1.3, because I have here, based to the result, I have here the moderate, which is the lowest point that I got. So applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking. So I just I just copy paste that indicator here on my development needs. So next is your action plan. So what will you write here on the learning objective? So what will be your objective for the next RPMS? Now you base your objective to the lowest or to the development need that you write. Since I put it here, the applied range of teaching as my the indicator that I really need to develop. So that would be my learning objective. What I do here is to paraphrase. So I just paraphrase the indicator sentence and copy paste and paraphrase. So you just use a word develop or anything that would describe your action plan for the next RPMS cycle. Then intervention. How will you put an intervention to your objective, to your plan? So I have here, actually this is technical assistance from the master teachers as the curriculum experts, since I focusing now to my strategies, teaching strategies. Then next intervention is visit online resources aligned in the teaching strategies. But you can put here as many as you can because this is your development plan. Then timeline for my action plan. So my timeline is year round. So year round meaning to say the whole circle of RPMS. And resources needed, of course, I need to attend webinar in order for me to have more knowledge on the strategies. And also, need also the human resources because example of human resources, we have the MT master teacher and also the instructional head. So can give us some advices on how to become expert or to become let's say to become well versed in our teaching field. Now let's proceed to letter B, the core behavioral competencies. Just like what we did in the functional competencies. So you go down here on the down. So you have here a lot of core behavioral, but only get one. But again, you can put here as many as you can. You go here for the strength. So when we say strength, try to look at here which core behavioral that you have the most number of check. So in my case, so for the demonstration, I have here the self-management. I have a perfect check, and also for professionalism and ethics. Then for the let's say for the need to be improved. So as you can see here, under the service orientation, I only got 2 checks, which I supposed to have 5 checks. So again, put here your objective. Your objective is just copy paste or paraphrase the indicator to develop personal responsibility for dealing with correcting customer service issues and concern. Then intervention. So get involved in the decision making among the teacher, the school heads, or you can put here an interventions based to your to the development needs that you really need. Then again, the timeline would be year round, and persons involved. I put here stakeholders, GPTA, and school administrators. Okay? So when you are done completing all the necessary informations and you are done reviewing everything on this part here, then that's the time that you will finalize. You can actually print if you really want to have a copy, but if you are done with it also, you can finalize part 4. Again, you need to have a password of this. So put a password, make it sure that you always remember your password, because from time to time, if you really want to edit and open, you can do it easily. Okay, so that's it. So everything is done already. Okay, you have here the unfinalized part for, meaning to say you already did this one. You already saved and do have the password already. So that would be all. So I hope that this would be a guide and help that all the teachers can have already the idea on how to do this e-IPCR and ESAT tool, because again, this would be the routine. Every end of the school year, teachers always are required to accomplish this one. So thank you, bye bye.